founder and CEO of Coinstreet Partners, delivers us the best content we could wish for in 2020. Want to know how to seize a $1 trillion asset tokenization opportunity? Tune in.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samson Lee. I'm the founder and CEO of Coinstreet Partners. Today, it is my great pleasure to be here to share with you a presentation about the $1 trillion asset tokenization STO opportunity. And thank you for the organizer Hong Kong Blockchain Week. It is my pleasure to be here. Coinstreet Partners is an award-winning AI-powered global decentralized investment banking group. We are also a professional fintech and digital asset consulting firm. We operate mainly into 5 businesses around the FMT framework is finance, including token finance consultancy, digital asset management, M for media and community, including the investor relationship, public relationship, and technology as well, including asset tokenization and security digitization solution, and decentralized finance and DLT solution. So we are half finance and half technology company. Coinstreet Partners is a global decentralized investment banking network spanning across different countries around the world and partnering with different broker-dealer licensed broker-dealer around the world. We also are organizer of one of the largest online private placement platform. It's called Gore. So it operates in 30 countries and 50 languages. This year, we're very proud to launch the TARTS Awards. It is the world first annual international awards for tokenized asset and digitized securities. And actually tonight, there will be a ceremony at 8 o'clock Hong Kong time. So feel free to join as well. Okay, back to the topics of today, the $1 trillion asset tokenization opportunity. First of all, I would like to give a quick clarification around blockchain because there are a lot of confusion, among ICO, like DeFi, STO, and all kind of terms, like IEO. So I hope I can give you a very quick clarification of all the concepts. So blockchain is a very powerful tool, is a protocol. It provides 2 paths. First is what we call decentralized application, right? It is a field of IT aimed to increase productivities of enterprise, right? So what we have seen in 2017 about the ICO is a lot related to that because decentralized application, many providers issuing so-called utility tokens, right? On the other hand, what we are talking about today is decentralized finance. It's a field of finance. It's related to corporate finance, capital market, and security tradings, right? It's also related to asset tokenization, right? So what went on in 2017 is a lot of the company using utility tokens, which is supposed to be an IT product for fundraising, right? So it's crossing the line. But today, we are very focused on the regulated, fully compliant, digitized assets and digital securities. Some key points about digital assets. It is not about cryptocurrency or ICO. It's about real-world asset, right? It's basically a derivative of some underlying assets. So the process of creating such asset is called asset tokenization. And the initial offering of such digitized assets to the public is called security tokens offering. And then the secondary trading venue is STO exchange. So according to World Economic Forum, their report estimated that the market size for tokenized asset by 2027 will exceed $24 trillion. As you can see, in 2020, we are right here, right at the beginning. Okay, so back to the market size, right? So we talk about a lot of future market opportunity and this exciting direction, but is it happening, right? Is this still a theory, or really something happening? So I want to give a quick market status. It is actually happening around the world, not with small companies, but with big players, right? In US, some of the big banks, they are already launching tokenized products, starting with stable coin and also integrating blockchain in the business process. If we look further around the world, there are a lot of like major conventional financial service provider now issuing bonds, equity, different kind of investment product, tokenized REIT, tokenized fund. As you can see, Franklin Templeton is a market leader in mutual fund. So they are also issuing tokenized version. And very interesting also from one of the leading player on the rating side, Morningstar, they just issue rating product for digitized securities. So it is happening. If we look deeper around the world, it's not lacking of example of governments, major corporation, or even large banks issuing tokenized digital securities. So some of the recent news, right? SEC just announced they already accept stablecoin as a deposit from licensed commercial banks in US. One of the early days crypto exchange Kraken in US now upgrade themselves to be a fully licensed US bank, right? Close at home in Hong Kong here, we just have the first approval in principle from our regulator for the first digital asset exchange. And we all aware of a lot of news about the Chinese digital renminbi is actually under trial right now. I'm sure it will be moving to commercial deployment very soon. And also just a few days ago, China Construction Bank announced that they are selling 3 billion worth of debt over an exchange in Lebanon from Fusan Exchange. And if we look at the bigger picture, now over 15 countries already have a defined regulatory framework for blockchain-based security tokens issuing and trading. So the market is happening. It is very hot. From another perspective, although the digital asset in terms of the composition of the total market capitalization, right, is very small, as you can see on the left-hand side, is a very tiny $275 billion compared to the huge total size. But in terms of trading volume on the right, is already composite 30% of the trading volume of the total financial market. So it's amazing. And if we look at the regulatory side on the global space, we all know like US is definitely one of the big brother of the whole financial market, like Wall Street driving the whole financial investment banking industry. We all know SEC, they're very against ICO, right? Back in 2017, even today, they're still going after many companies suing them. But for STO, US actually run the fastest, right? If you look at this chart, is a little bit out there already, 2019. I'm sure new information will come up, but similar trend. US is leading the game, right? If they are really the big brother driving the financial market and they see STO is the future, then they're acting, walking on the talk. So we know this is something real. It is very hot. And what are the near-term opportunities, right? And how we can help? Again, if you look around the world, all different jurisdictions, although in different pace, but they all moving forward a very positive direction in parallel, right? So we see financial regulatory sandbox in different countries. Many already started a year or 2 years ago. Now we're seeing more and more companies starting to graduate, right? For example, like there are already 2 licenses in Singapore, 1 conditional license in Hong Kong. And I heard that Japan is already launching the first STO. US also have 2 licenses. And UK just recently granted another license. And Germany and UAE just came out with new regulation. So the whole world is moving forward in parallel, in a positive direction. Come closer to Hong Kong, right? As mentioned earlier, last year, our regulator SFC already issued 2 guidelines. One back in March about initial offering, and one in November about secondary trading. And recently this year, they already issue a approval in principle license for the first exchange. So it is happening. And we all know STO or asset tokenization have benefits to both issuer and investors, right? So let's look at the opportunities from each side. First of all, starting from the issuer, right? Of course, they will look at using STO or digitized securities for fundraising. So this is a typical fundraising cycle of, normal companies, not necessarily tech companies, right? So it's all start out as a conception, self-finance, and then they will have some prototype, find some angel investor, and then find a VC, right? And then find some growth funding and eventually IPO, right? So it's very typical cycle. So how does this STO fit in, right? So first of all, we know back in 2017, a lot of the ICO projects, so they actually, for the very early days project, done in here on this circle, right? As you can see, even despite of what kind of fundraising method they use, all this startup, we know over 90% will fail, and they go through the value of death. What we see the opportunity for STO from issuer is actually for them to raise growth funding, maybe something PIPO, right? So they don't have to dilute themselves as much, right? But at the time, they also have a strong, like a proven financial model they can show to investor, not just from a concept. So I think this is the sweet spot for STO fundraising. I think it's probably from the range around $5 million to $200 million. And then we actually see a natural path or next step to go into IPO. We don't see STO is competing with IPO or replacing it. It's more likely a natural path from STO to IPO, right? Because we know IPO is a different game. It's about multiples, like PE ratio, but it's still very unique. On another perspective, from the investor point of view, so this is allocation of different type of assets based on the market cap. As you can see, digital asset at the top is very tiny, and most of the asset today, the largest one is still bond and debt. Next is real estate, and then equity. So when we talk about asset tokenization, right, we are talking about tokenizing a lot of the conventional assets, right, in the conventional asset class, from equity, real estate, and bonds, and then tokenize them and convert them into digital assets. So this is the near-term opportunity. But on the longer run, I do believe with all the smart people in this industry, we will come up with a lot of new products that not even exist today. So there will be a lot of new financial products based on a tokenized structure that could be, available to the market. And these are great opportunity for investors around the world. So just to sum up, it is also not about the token, right? Although we talk about the token STO a lot, but it is not about the tokens. The key is about the underlying assets and underlying investment opportunities, right? So these are the four big categories that we can look at. Tokenization of ownership, like fixed assets, equities of a companies, tokenization of cash flow, revenue sharing, profit, dividends, right? Because you don't have to own anything, you can just entitle to a cash flow. And tokenization of debt, bonds, debentures, mortgage, also tokenization of investment funds like REIT, CIS, and different types of investment funds. For Coinstreet, we're very happy to help. We provide a one-stop end-to-end professional service for asset tokenization and security digitization, starting from the initial offering and also covering post-offering. We also provide an end-to-end token lifecycle and digital asset management system. So it's including starting out from how you tokenize the assets and then make it available into a digital asset platform for worldwide trading, and also subsequently the de-tokenization, because a lot of the service provider they forgot about de-tokenization. So it's not one way, right? Because when investor, they come in, they buy a tokens, they also want to convert it back, cash out in the future, right? So this is very important, and that's we have a very complete cycle. Okay, so but it's not all good. There's a lot of challenge as well. The industry now is very fragmented value chain. Regulations still need to be improved. Secondary trading liquidity need to be improved, and there's a lot of education and a lot more work in making a good performance tracking, reporting, valuation model. The future, we actually see the future, we can compare to YouTube, because YouTube is about liberalization of content, and now it's about liberalization of investment, right? Companies now are able to raise funds globally through a fully compliant platform, and smaller investor, when I say smaller, is not like retail. I mean, it's smaller than the huge mutual fund, huge hedge fund, and PE fund, right? But individual investor, they can now tap into many future unicorn opportunity around the world in different regions. Again, we have got a TART award ceremony tonight at 8 o'clock at Hong Kong time. So please register at this website with this barcode, and you can also find the details on the Hong Kong Blockchain Week website. Hope you can join there. Okay, thank you very much. These are my barcode from WeChat and LinkedIn if you want to connect with me. Thank you.